What if you could be part of a technology that will change the world? Welcome to Bittensor, the decentralized network where artificial intelligence models come together to share knowledge and grow. Powered by blockchain, Bittensor allows AI to collaborate, learn, and create in a truly open environment. It's a new world where AI isn't owned by anyone, but shared by everyone. This is your chance to be at the forefront of something revolutionary. Join the future of AI. Join Bittensor.
Yo, welcome. This is TAO City Live. I am Crypto Buffalo, and this is the 7th live stream from TAO City Live. We have a crazy show today. Today is Tuesday, TAO Tuesday, and we have a 1-hour video stream. It's a little delayed today. We had some vMix issues. I do apologize. After the 1-hour video stream, we will move into TAO City Radio, where we have some interviews lined up for you guys. And we also have a live interview here pending from Millie, who's going to hopefully show up. And we'll have a nice interview about what's going on in the Bittensor space. And I have a plethora of stuff to line up for you today. We open the show with a Bittensor Bureau video that you guys watched there. They have just announced that they are looking to promote subnets. So if you are a subnet owner or somebody that needs marketing and video production in the Bittensor space, I highly recommend you reach out to Bittensor Bureau. They have their email there on their website. You can follow them at Bittensor Bureau on YouTube. And here's a promo video that they just launched today.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Bittensor Bureau.
Let's go.
So what is it you do?
Our mission? To craft bold, unforgettable ads.
Wow.
Showcase Bittensor to the world. We need your help. Spread the word. Share the message. Let the world see just how incredible Bittensor truly is.
B-A-B-Y, baby.
This isn't just marketing. This is a movement.
This indeed is a movement. Bittensor Bureau, keep it up. Let's go. Love to see that. And there is a trend going on right now. We're seeing a lot of media firms, studios showing up ready to create content for Bittensor in 2026. I've got a couple other projects that I'll be talking about later in this stream that are also looking to do the same thing. And TAO City is looking to do that for everybody, including the studios that are competing with TAO City to create content. And I shouldn't even say competing, because honestly, this is a collab in Bittensor. If you are here right now in Bittensor, we are so early. I mean, the happening just happened in December, the very first happening. She's still so young. She's just learning to walk, that old girl, Bittensor. And so if you're new, man, or you've been here for a while, it doesn't matter. There's no competing. There's only collaborating and just trying to get better. If somebody else is doing better than you, learn from that and evolve and upgrade and be self-improving like Bittensor. TAO City has been trying to be self-improving, and I got to give a huge shout out to the one and only Crypto Punisher, who gave us a shout out last week on X, which was an amazing, I mean, this is one of the best shout outs I've ever got. So Crypto Z Punisher on X, if you don't follow Punisher, you should definitely, an OG in the space. And he posted last week after TAO City Live that in March of 2025, I made a wish. Bittensor is magical, and it's a community. It's extraordinary. A huge thank you to TAO City for making that wish come true. Even though I don't speak English, I've always been a fan of the American-style radio shows that live free, creative ways of telling stories. I genuinely believe this channel could become a full-time project, which is the goal. I am trying to go full-time, and there is so much to talk about on Bittensor, so many topics to explore, and so many voices to highlight. Everything is possible: interviews, debates, deep dives, and why not show interrupted AI-generated music powered by Bittensor. We already have the TAO Daily. You guys can go to taodaily.com. Great website, great channel. And now we have TAO City. From now on, TAO City deserves a permanent spot in your bookmarks. Thank you so much, Crypto Z Punisher. That is a shout out and a half. And I want to also give a shout out to TAO Daily for covering Punisher just recently. They just today released their interview with Crypto Z Punisher. We'll just call it Punisher. The username is Crypto Z Punisher, but Punisher just got interviewed. Punisher hasn't been doing any interviews yet. And this is a big first one. I highly recommend it. It's about a 13-minute read. It goes into the whole lore of what Punisher's been up to in the space, what they did beforehand, and why they love Bittensor so much. A great, amazing read. You can find that at taodaily.io. So huge shout out again to Punisher, and we will keep up crushing it with TAO City Live to make you proud on that dream that is coming true. And he mentioned a radio. So if you guys didn't tune in last week, we do have a radio show that comes on right after this. So if you're watching this stream right now, you don't got to change a thing, because right after this, we will switch over to TAO City Radio, and you can come on and talk to me live, both either in the Discord or on the X Spaces. We will have both of those green rooms open for anybody to come on up and chat live on TAO City, on TAO City Radio. We will be going for a couple hours today. Should be a lot of fun. And let's get right into it. So if you're brand new and you're wondering who I am, well, I'm Crypto Buffalo. I'm a freelance cameraman out of Seattle. Been doing sports and live events for the last 20 years. And I am now moving into streaming using vMix. That is my setup at home right now that you're watching, where I stream from my house doing live productions for anybody in the world to come on and talk to me. And I am all centered around creating a city called TAO City, where we will cover all things Bittensor in this space. And today we have a fun show for us. So let's bring up what we got going on today. Today we are going to be talking about Raoul Paul. He has been dropping some hopium for those Bittensor believers. We're going to look into what's been going on lately that's been spread around the Bittensor space about what he has said about the TAO token. And then after that, we are going to talk to the one and only Alchemist. Yesterday, I stayed up late and had a chance to talk and have a call with Alchemist. He is over in Australia. I'm over here in the Pacific Northwest of the U.S. in Seattle. We had ourselves a great 1 hour call. I will be rolling some clips on what we both talked about there. Should be a lot of good alpha for the subnets that need scaling. Again, a big theme that we've been talking about. If you are a subnet and you need content creation, you need marketing, you need more people to tell your story, there's more and more of these avenues popping up of people like myself and people like you've got TAO Daily that covers it well. And we just saw Bittensor Bureau, and we'll be talking about a couple more projects to help scale this year. More content, more interviews, more storytelling. That is what Bittensor needs more than anything in this space. Alrighty, so we were talking about Raoul Paul, and he has been talking about Bittensor lately. And if you haven't watched it, he had a very good interview with Barry Silbert about why Bittensor is really the project to look out for.
Talk to me about Bittensor first. If you ask 5 people, you're going to get 15 answers. But here's the thing. It's just like Bitcoin. In 2012, if you asked 5 people about Bitcoin, you're going to get 5 different answers. It's what Bittensor is a decentralized network for intelligence. And the idea of Bittensor is to create this global permissionless platform on which any challenge can get solved by incenting the world's global intelligence to solve that problem. And the incentive is this crypto token. It could be compute, it could be inference, it could be data, it could be training, pre-training. There's subnets that have been launched to predict the price of Bitcoin, to predict sports scores. And so in the way that, 30 years ago with the internet, when Mosaic, when the browser was launched and it created this Cambrian explosion of websites, before that, you would access the internet via Prodigy and America Online, akin to today's OpenAI and Claude. Bittensor is ushering in this whole new area, openness and permissionless innovation.
So as you saw there, Barry Silbert was TAO-pilling Raoul Paul, and you can see that the seed has been planted. And just recently, in the last couple of days on Real Vision, he had a conversation with a co-host about his feelings and vibes about Bittensor and the TAO token in the current state.
I was speaking to Julian about this over the weekend, writing GMI. It's like Barry Silbert's going to be right. TAO is going to go up. Bittensor. It's really annoying because I've known Barry forever and he always gets these things right. He got the Zcash one as well. And I just think Bittensor, if I look at the weekly chart, it's a killer chart. I don't own any. In fact, let me show you the chart. Let me see if I can find it.
I've been in and out of TAO several times. They had their halving in
That's
December.
right. But if I look
it went down, but it always has this nice bottom to it around this sort of level.
I mean, it's just
So TAO is like a rewards mechanism for these AI. So like if you're talking about what we just spoke about with the how to train these models better, that is essentially what they're trying to do here.
Yeah, I mean that's a very clean kind of big flag pattern. And if it's going to happen, there's a big price move to come. So, I've been following this one with interest and then trying to keep open to the AI trade. I think a lot of them is going to be just who is able to process at the speed that agents require. And that feels like that's a Solana Sui world more than an ETH world, but maybe the layer twos can. I don't know, but I think that game is going to be one of the key narratives, as you said.
Yeah, look, I was a big believer just over a year ago that AI agents last year was going to be the year of AI agents. I would be really surprised if this year is not now.
That was on Real Vision. You can watch the full 1 hour stream of Mando and Raoul Paul talking about the crypto state right now. And I agree. I really thought last year was the AI agent year. But if it wasn't last year, it is definitely going to be this year. Vibe coding is something I'm finally leaning into myself. And if you haven't vibe coded yet, I highly recommend you dabble with it. Just do it for something fun. Don't stress out on it. Just embrace and learn. And that is honestly, that's where we're moving, folks. If you're not learning something right now in this space of disruption, whether it be vibe coding, whether it be you learning just the tools that are out there that you could leverage for your business. We all know, like, if you were a logo designer, your job has become almost obsolete because AI has taken over that, and there's just more jobs that can be disrupted. So don't stop learning. Don't be that old dog that can't learn new tricks. You got to be self-motivated, or you are going to be struggling and waiting for that universal basic income to save your day, which that won't be me, and that won't be TAO City. So keep learning every day, and that is the way. Alrighty, when we come back, we're going to talk to Alchemist and play some clips from last night's call that I had with him and hear what he's got going on with Subnet Summer along with Bitstarter. You are watching the one and only TAO City Live. Alrighty, we're back here on TAO City Live, and now let's talk about the one and only Alchemist. He is the OG creator of the Telegram group Subnet Summer, which I joined last summer, and had a chance to finally talk to Alchemist one-on-one. We had an hour call last night, actually, late at night. I'm in Seattle, Washington, USA, and he's over in Australia, and we had ourselves a very good chat. A lot of great conversations were had. And I just want to give him a huge shout out ahead of time before I play some of these clips, because he is one of the very first OGs to join TAO City. When I first created the Discord, he joined, and I've been somebody in the Telegram for Subnet Summer. So he actually reached out and said, "Hey, how can I help?" And I said, "Join the city, man." And he joined the city as one of the first, I believe, dozen people that were in the city. So we already, both of us have been supporting each other from day one. And I had a chance to talk to him about what he is up to as he's joined Bitstarter, and he's also been covering the Exploit Conference, which is coming up in March. And here's what he had to say about the Exploit Conference.
I'm working with the Commons team for Exploit Summit, helping them with partnerships and communication. A lot of exciting announcements coming up, but I cannot say anything yet. But I think that is truly going to be the Bittensor event. And I think people really felt that last year with Proof of Talk, even though it wasn't, and it was somehow we took over the event. Exploit is really the event. And the concept itself, Exploit, is so Bittensor. To come into a network and exploit it, and the ecosystem, rather than us pushing them out and hiding what they've done, we look at those exploits and we look at these moments and we go, great, they're going to break it. Let's see now how we can build it better. And that's the sentiment to our community. We want to find the gaps and the cracks, and we want to continue growing from there. We're really going to have amazing people. It's going to be quite immersive, and it's in the heart of San Francisco. So there's OpenAI, Anthropic around the corner. So we're making a lot more noise, and I think we're ready.
And the question is, are you ready? Well, if you are, head on over to the Exploit Summit X account where you can sign up for the waitlist. This Friday, you will be able to buy discounted tickets and get early access to all the information. They just announced the waitlist. I believe I've already signed up for it, but if you haven't, you can go to their website, exploitsummit.com, and you can opt into their waitlist. And I believe Friday is when they are going to start allowing tickets to sale. And the event itself is March, and it is one where, let's see, here we go. It is March 30th and 31st in Midway, San Francisco, or at the Midway in San Francisco. And it is definitely one that I'm hoping to try to attend. And I know that a lot of the OGs in the space are going to be attending. So if you're looking to connect with people in the Bittensor space, face-to-face, making real, genuine human connections, I highly recommend you attend the Exploit Conference that is happening at the end of March. Now, also, when I had a chance to talk to Alchemist, I wanted to talk to him about the Bitstarter collaboration. Now that he has joined Bitstarter, I wanted to ask him, what does that mean?
The relationship with Alchemist and Bitstarter was that Macro Zach could see my strength in community building and networking within the ecosystem. And I definitely think he sees the viability of the next gen of people in Bittensor. There was Generation 1 and there was Macrocosmos and all these cool teams and gradients. And anyways, he sees the vision of the next gen. He understood that I had a strong pull on the community and I was very people first. And he thought that would be a really important thing for Bitstarter. I completely agree. Bitstarter is about the community. It's not about VCs getting these strong OTC deals. It's about all the subnets. It's not about a subnet. It's not about us. It's not about Bitstarter. It's about Bittensor and each subnet itself. And he's basically hired experts in every field. He went on a hiring spree of just like finding the best of the best. So we have all the tools already to help teams succeed. We've got marketing. We've got someone doing publications. We've got Gus, who was in Subnet Summer from day one, who is basically like chief subnet officer. He's phenomenal, knows everything about everything in the ecosystem. We've got myself doing community and partnerships, so connecting a lot of dots within the ecosystem and finding ways for us to all work together. And we've also got Chris, who's just he's phenomenal. He's really good with people. He's really good with communication. He's a visionary, and he really does want Bittensor to succeed for the right reasons.
Alrighty, so if you haven't heard of Bitstarter yet, they are a crowdfunding platform. They've already done 2 successful raises. What it is a platform to raise for subnets that are about to merge, and so you have a chance to get in at the ground floor at discounted prices. And so they've already had 2 launches that were successful, and Alpha Core and Quasar were the 2. And you can look here, they just released their scoreboard, their leaderboard, if you will. And number 1 was Alpha Core, where they raised 440 TAO in 3 days and 16 hours and 23 minutes, 104 investors on that one. And Quasar, 400 TAO, 13 days, 12 hours, 30 minutes. The reason why it was so much longer on this one, they did try to raise during the Christmas holiday season, so they extended the time, and they got 66 investors on that one. So right now, 2 for 2 on the Bitstarter pledges, and if we're trying to figure out which one is next, you go to bitstarter.ai and you can see there's Super World that is coming soon. We also have Lush AI, which is another subnet that is launching soon that has got a lot of buzz. So I'm really excited to see what Super World and Lush AI, how their pledges go. And it is definitely an exciting time to see with Bitstarter what they're up to. And you're starting to see a lot of other projects talking about them. A lot of influencers are talking about Bitstarter, including Taodotcom, which just released the Carrot and the Stick podcast. If you don't know know about them, recommend going to YouTube, Taodotcom, and they just released videos. It is Bittensor Guru along with Garrett, who goes by Carrot, and I believe Bittensor Guru would then be the stick. And they just recently talked about Bitstarter, along with all the options that subnets, and anybody who has a subnet idea but doesn't have the funds, this is what they said.
And I forgot to mention Bitstarter, because that's another option. If you want to fund your subnet, you don't have to go to one of these other entities. You can crowdfund it. They've been 100% successful at this point with all of their funding. So there's that option as well. There's no shortage of options. If you got a great idea and you can code, come to Bittensor. Someone will lay out the yellow brick road for you, and then you have to skip down it, but it's there, you know?
I think that's a great point. Some people might look at the registration fee for a subnet and they think, oh, geez, 480 TAO, I don't have that. But someone does have 480 TAO that they'll be willing to give to you for a attractive deal into your subnet. And there are plenty of parties. You can shop around. There are people, there are companies. Bitstarter is a great place to start to look into that. So I think that's a great point.
Bitstarter is a place that is great to start. So I highly recommend you look into Taodotcom and the Karen and the Stick podcast. And again, this is definitely a trending situation with Bitstarter. And I want to give a huge shout out again to Alchemist. You can also find out with Alchemist that they just released, started a YouTube channel for Subnet Summer. So we now have video content coming out of a Telegram alpha group. So Subnet Summer is a Telegram group. You can also follow them on X at Subnet Summer TAO. And they all now dropping some content, and then expect live shows, more videos, more alpha, more media, man, more content. Love to see it. Huge shout out to Alchemist. Huge shout out to Keith, a Bittensor Guru, along with Garrett from the Carrot and the Stick podcast. And Bitstarter is looking like it's getting some momentum, and I'm very excited to see when they announce their next raise for another subnet emerging. It is a lot of fun to see what they got down the pipeline. So when we come back, we're going to take a look at some more subnets that are releasing some amazing hype videos. You are watching TAO City Live, and we'll be right back after this quick musical break. Pretty bullish. Alrighty, we are into our last segment here on TAO City Live, and then we are going to be firing up TAO City Radio, and we'll be playing for a couple hours for you guys. We got some interviews lined up, a lot with the headlines and some reports and breaking news that might happen. I don't know if breaking news is going to happen, but I feel like it could, and I'll be ready for it, because TAO City Radio is honestly the vision I have with the radio. If you've ever played Grand Theft Auto, you jump in a car and you're cruising, switching those channels, and then you come with one of those retro radio stations with a very goofy VJ playing music and giving you fun headlines in the city. That is the vision for TAO City Radio. We did our first one last week. It was a lot of fun, and if you definitely want to join, we just opened up the Discord and Spaces, so if you jump on in there and raise your hand, I'll bring you up on the show. But we have one last video segment here where we're going to talk about Metanova, which is subnet 68. Definitely has some hype behind it, and they just released a video to kind of give you an understanding of what Metanova is and why it's important. And let's take a look.
Modern medicine transformed society. Life expectancy doubled. Diseases became manageable. But progress has stalled. Misaligned incentives prevent innovation from compounding. In 1897, a chemist at Bayer refined the active ingredient in willow bark, a gentler, more effective compound called aspirin. That marked the beginning of the modern drug industry. Today, that industry is worth trillions. Yet a single drug takes more than a decade and billions of dollars to produce. 9 out of 10 fail. And many successes are small tweaks to old compounds, not breakthroughs. Artificial intelligence was supposed to fix this. Instead, it inherited the same limitations. Closed labs, data silos, redundant work, incentives that reward secrecy over progress. Yet a new approach has emerged. This is Metanova Labs, a crypto-native biotech on a mission to reprogram body and mind. Nova, powered by Bittensor Subnet 68, turns drug discovery into a non-stop global competition. Anyone can participate by submitting molecules or the algorithms that find them. The best submissions are rewarded with Nova tokens. It's a system that rewards and learns from results, turning drug discovery into a decentralized, permissionless market for increasingly better solutions. The promise is simple: faster discovery, lower costs, a system that improves with every cycle. By making discovery radically more efficient, we can begin exploring the full potential of the human mind and body. The tools have evolved. The quest to heal continues.
Yes, please. More of that. All right, that's Metanova, and that video was done by, let's bring him up here, Dank Engine. Now, Dank Engine has actually partnered up with Raoul. If you guys don't know Raoul, he's a content creator that has also been crushing with some amazing content for Bittensor, and they just created a studio called Iconoclast Studios. And here is a promo for Iconoclast Studios that they just released. And again, they are a creative studio dedicated to making content about Bittensor and its subnets. And here is the Iconoclast Studios promo video. Very interesting promo there. That was Iconoclast Studios. Raoul and Dank Engine have formed a production that is dedicated to really scaling and creating more content for Bittensor subnets, just like you saw the Metanova one right there. We need more of that like crazy. And so they've created Iconoclast Studios, and you can take a look on their YouTube there. You can follow them on X at iconoclast_s. And then you also have the definition. I was like, what the hell is Iconoclast? I've heard this so much, but I have no idea. Is someone who attacks or rejects cherished beliefs, traditions, or institutions. So, you know, they're trying to essentially change the game, if you will. So huge fan of that. And Iconoclast Studios is here to stay. Hopefully, I want more content creators to show up creating amazing content for Bittensor. It is what we all need more than anything, because if price go up, that means the narrative has been sent out. More people are discovering Bittensor. More people are understanding one of the hardest to understand spaces, which is decentralized, incentivized protocols for scaling AI development, along with just any development. As we all know, you don't have to have an AI project to come onto Bittensor, but it sure does help.